contest where we were like, whoever gets to finish the event fastest will get to be the name of the cow, and then our artist Olga won. So the cow is now honorarily named Olga after the speed run winner, as you could see. Yeah,
That's a
there you
fun
go.
one. We should
Yeah.
do more stuff like that in the future, little Easter
It's
eggs.
it's true that only we know, but if the live stream fans will get to find out the scoop because we did not the name is nowhere in the event to be found, but now you know. So there you go.
Well, thank you for
Yeah,
sharing
cool.
all that about cheese. I I had no idea that Camembert came from brie, or like it wouldn't have existed if there wasn't a recipe for brie that existed. And brie's one of my favorite cheeses,
Yeah.
so I loved learning that fact.
Yeah, we tried some brie in the office. That's another thing that I forgot to mention that we had a big day where we to prepare for the event. We went to this place called Murray's Cheese in New York and then brought it back to the office. And then we had like a huge charcuterie board of different cheeses, including brie, which we ended up getting some smell complaints, I guess would be the word, in our shared office space. So people really the cheese was a very pungent cheese. And it kind of took up the smell of the room. We had to open some windows and apologize, but the cheese was very worth it. It was very good. And we ended up having like even like bonus cheese parties after to finish it up because we couldn't have it all in one sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Well,
Cheese is
yeah.
almost always worth it, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, it's been a really fun event. Like it's really like a really exciting event to just learn different things. Like stuff like one I hadn't even known Burnett was a part of it, and then like once I knew about it, now it's like, oh, and then here's this cheese that isn't even made with Burnett. So it's like I didn't even know Burnett was a thing, and now I'm also learning that it's not always a thing. Like it's been very eye-opening to the world of cheese, where I kind of didn't think there was much to it at first. I just kind of thought cheese was cheese, but it turns out there's a lot that goes into it, and like every piece of cheese you get had a very intense process to create and like a long history that usually comes from accidents, honestly. A lot of these cheeses were made just because they accidentally left milk for too long out, like, or they dropped the cheese in the wrong thing. Like, it's a lot of accidents that led to really tasty results.
I love
Yeah.
that. I mean, isn't that science in general? A lot of
There you
things
go.
just come from experimentation and accidents and then figuring things out along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of these cheeses are just experiments gone right or wrong.
Yeah.
Some of them are very weird that you'll find later in the event. There's one that's like uh very intriguing in how they make it. It's not traditional and it includes some insects actually, which is wild. Yeah,
Well,
a lot of different
awesome.
ways to make
Thank you so much for sharing cheese with us today.
Yeah,
We
of
hope you guys
course.
are looking forward to it. Remember, the premiere is going to go live on April 3rd, so mark your calendars. That's this upcoming Thursday. We're also going to have a Let's Play on our Discord, so if you guys aren't a part of our Discord, you should join it.
Mhm.
And we hope to see you there. And we hope you enjoy Explore Cheese. Uh,
Yeah.
delightful. I Oh my gosh, I forgot the subtitle
That's okay. Is
already.
that
Andrew,
Dairy
take it away.
Delights? Is that
Dairy
Dairy
delights.
Delights? Yeah, because they are delightful dairy items.
Thank you. Oh, yay.
That's-
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, like I don't know if everyone knows, but like the sales team kind of has a few different teams working on different projects. So like I mentioned, I've been super focused on the main game and the primary sim, and but it's really cool watching Andrew and the whole events team kind of work separately because I get to enjoy what you guys make as a fan. And like it's really cool how like the vibe is so different for this event, and like it's so different from other events you guys have done. So it's cool that like the game can really be about anything, and you guys always manage to make it interesting.
Yeah, thank you. And you really helped us with this garden. There was a point where we really were like, we're gonna need some like a vibe check on this garden. So we appreciate your
Yeah.
help.
I
Yeah.
was in the room, but
Yeah.
definitely I think the events team gets all the
Yeah.
credit
Yeah.
for this. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, you both have been doing a great job, and I've been really enjoying seeing everything you've been working on. I really love seeing the different spread, no pun intended, of Explore event topics that we've been playing
Yeah.
around with, and the primary simulation update that's coming up I feel like, is a very much needed, long awaited update that I'm very excited to bring to players.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that soon, but first, we're still in a cheese mindset, so let
Mhm.
me introduce you all to our newest community contest that you can enter for a chance to win some very fun prizes. It is called the Cheese Please Recipe Contest. So this is our first ever event, or not event. This is our first ever contest that you guys can enter where you get to make something with food. So the concept of this is you make a recipe with cheese. It can be a cheese substitute, it can be your favorite kind of cheese, but we're announcing this contest today because you can start entering today. Emily, our other M, hello, is going to put the link to the official contest page in the chat very soon. So you guys can check out the official contest page, see everything you need to know there. If you run into any issues, you can just write some comments in there. You can write in the chat, let me know. But just so you guys know, make a recipe with cheese. I think that's a pretty fun contest to enter. I would love to enter this contest if I could, but I think that's I don't want to be biased here. I don't want to be a nepotism entry. I wouldn't do that to you guys.
Yeah.
But just to give you a little taste of what's to come, the rules include submitting a recipe and a photo of your dish. So we want to know all the ingredients that went into your dish and all of the steps. So the official recipe, because we may or may not want to make a couple of them at home. Oh no, we have to judge them. Oh no, we have to eat cheese.
Yeah.
And include a photo of your dish so that we know you made it. Otherwise, if you just pull something from the internet, anyone can do that. But we want to see how you made your recipe truly unique and truly yours. And your recipe must contain a type of cheese, if that wasn't already obvious. Otherwise, it's not really a cheese recipe contest. And you have to submit your recipe through one of our 3 required platforms. Otherwise, our eyeballs will not see your recipe. There's more information about that in the official contest page, but you can submit it through Discord. There will be a channel specifically for recipe entries. You can submit it to our email, sharestory@computerlunch.com. Or if you have a Google account, you can submit it through our official Google form for the recipe submissions. And we also only accept 1 entry per contestant, so please do not spam us with entries. So if you give us more than 1, we will only count the first one you submit. And we will not accept entries submitted past the deadline. That one I feel is pretty self-explanatory. But let's get into the meat and cheese of it. The prizes. The prizes are our standard ones that we usually have in monthly contests like this. The first place will get a whopping 2,000 Darwinium and a 90-day Infinity Pass, so that's nothing to sneeze at. And third place and second place also have some really good prizes with 1,000 Darwinium and a 60-day Infinity Pass for second prize, and third prize gets 500 Darwinium and a 30-day pass. I don't know, I would love any of that personally. And if you want to if you take a step back and you say, but I don't really like cheese, I like cheese substitute stuff, or I'm vegan, what do I do? Oh, why I feel like I don't stand a chance against like real cheese recipes, you're in luck, because we're also doing a vegan cheese award, and the winner for that will receive 1,000 Darwinium and a 30-day Infinity Pass. But wait, there's more. If you want to try and take a crack at making a recipe that you think our Discord mods would like, we're awarding 3 awards for the Discord mod choices. So 3 people will win 300 Darwinium and 30-day Infinity Pass. That's a lot of prizes.
Very, very exciting. I mean, I want it too.
I know, right?
I don't know the recipes. Like, make these in the office.
Yeah. We can make them of that at home, but how do you we're gonna judge them?
True. Good call. True.
I mean, we can't make them all, but we'll make the ones that sound the most appetizing for sure, or look the most appetizing based on your photos. The start date is today at 3 p.m. Eastern, so you guys get a head start with a couple hours. So if there's a recipe you already have in mind, if there's something that your parents made that you really like and you want to ask them for the recipe, maybe even make it together, you go ahead and do that. That's the kind of stuff we would love to see. And you'll be able to enter for a whole month until April 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern. we hope you guys are excited to enter. We're excited to try your entries. And if you have any questions about the contest at all at any point, we have a Q&A at the end of our stream. So I encourage you all to ask questions now while we're all here. Oh, well, I hope you all are excited for that contest. But there's something to be even more excited about. It is our newest primary simulation update that is coming up. And we're going to give you some more information about it before the official release, because we want you all to be informed about all the changes that are happening. But we'll just give you some sneak peeks for now. For anyone who hasn't read our dev diary, this update that's coming up is called the Reality Reboot. And again, I just talked about the dev diary a little bit. But I don't know if Aditya, Armad, or Emily in the chat have a link to the dev diary, but when you do, just take a moment to plop that in the chat for anyone who hasn't read it yet. So there are lots of details there, but we have John, the Reality Reboot director, here with us today to answer some questions and to go over a lot of things that are going to be going on with the primary simulation. So John, we're very happy to have you on the show with us today to answer some of those questions.
Yeah, definitely excited to be here. So yeah, like I mentioned, the team has basically been kind of working on various parts of the game for years now. But the primary sim was actually the first part of the game that we created. This was, I mean, over 5 years ago now. So it's definitely gotten a little bit long in the tooth, and we've definitely learned a lot of things about making idle games fun and interesting since then. So I think it's finally kind of time that we shifted our attention back to the primary simulation, and it's definitely something that we've been hearing from the fans as well. One this meme here is something that we all got a good laugh from. Someone in the community shared this with us. But basically, like the picture shows, we've been spending a lot of time on expanding the beyond, expanding exploration events. But meanwhile, the primary sim kind of was getting a little bit neglected. So I think it's definitely time that we kind of address that. And for me personally, I think that the content in the primary simulation is super interesting. It's kind of where we deliver on the premise of the title, the Cell to Singularity. And we definitely have lots of ideas on how we can make it more interesting, both for new players just coming into the game, as well as for late game players who've already kind of completed all the content in the main sim and are just kind of waiting for new things to kind of unlock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited that the primary simulation is finally getting some love. I feel like after all of this content that we've added and updated in the game, I'm like, oh, the primary simulation is getting left behind. So it's really cool to see this finally happening from an insider perspective.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, I mean, the team's definitely been hard at work. It's not an easy project by any means. I think because the game is so big at this point, and because it's been around for so long, and there's so many players that are already invested in it, we do want to be careful about how we approach things so that we don't kind of affect players' progression negatively or confuse people or anything like that. So we're definitely taking a lot of time to really think through the design and kind of figure out how to make it fun for everyone.
Exactly. I think we'll get started by showing a couple graphics that we included in the dev diary already. So, John, you can explain them a little bit more if anyone has any questions. Also, just to preface, all of this stuff is subject to change. So,
Yes.
it's not all final. It's still a work in progress.
Yes, very, very much still a work in progress. Yeah, so there's kind of a lot of things that we're kind of working on and thinking about. Really, kind of the meat of this expansion, though, is a big upgrade to the reality engine. So for those of you who haven't actually gotten to this point in the game, basically, we have a prestige system, is what we call it, where you can purchase upgrades to the reality engine where you're running the simulation of the universe. And that'll kind of let you go faster through the game and unlock new content in the game. So as you can kind of see in the screenshot, basically we've kind of gone in and reworked the entire reality engine tree. And we're adding lots of new upgrades and lots of new upgrade types to hopefully kind of give players more interesting choices and to kind of add a little bit more strategic depth to the game. We kind of want, especially late game players, to kind of have more to think about as they kind of play through the game, and a little bit more challenge really for the people that have gotten really, really deep into the game and are looking kind of for something kind of meatier to get their to sink their teeth into. Um,
Yeah, we've
so
gotten a lot of questions from late game players saying like, "Hey, I got all the metabit upgrades. What do I do now?"
Oh.
right. Yeah, that's definitely a problem that we're trying to solve. Like whenever we do expansions in the primary simulation, we want it to be fun and exciting for players. So, for example, when we did updates in the Beyond or the events, players have something new and fresh that they can play for a good chunk of time. And we're really trying to set ourselves up so that we can do the same in the primary simulation as well. Um, so a big part of kind of solving that design problem is really by expanding what happens in the reality engine, giving players new upgrades that they can kind of unlock, and really kind of adding a lot more content and a lot more substance here.
What does that mean for metabits?
Great question, Emily. Yeah. So basically, the plan is to split the current metabit economy kind of into two parts. And this is uh, definitely in response to some of the feedback that we've gotten on the current metabit tuning. So especially for late game players, there are some issues with the way that the metabits were tuned. So, um, for example, one piece of feedback that we got from a lot of players is that the way that metabits are gathered or generated was kind of unclear. And then certain players just had a bunch of metabits and nothing to really spend them on. Um, and because of the way that the game works, one of the challenges that we face is that you have both entropy as well as ideas driving the metabit economy. So as part of this change, we're actually splitting it into two parts. So metabits will actually be converted into what we're calling entrobits, which are driven only by entropy. And then ideas will actually drive a new prestige currency called idea bits. Um, so, like I mentioned, I think in addition to kind of splitting the currency into two parts, which will kind of give us a lot more flexibility in how tuning works, we're introducing this system that we're calling the compiler system, which is really kind of how we convert entropy and ideas into entrobits and idea bits. So as part of this, we're hoping to kind of make it much clearer and much more interesting to generate entrobits and idea bits and to kind of save up to unlock content on the new reality engine. Um, so yeah, I think from here, like those are kind of the core ideas. Like Emily mentioned, you can look through the dev diary to kind of really kind of dive into the details. But from here, what I kind of wanted to do was just give you a quick peek into how the game is shaping up and actually just drive through the experience of actually unlocking the new reality engine.
Nice. And I'm seeing some people ask some really good questions for us. Just to let you know, we have a Q&A at the end of the segment. So if it works out for us to be able to answer some questions now, we will. But I'll also keep an eye on your questions so that we can save them for the Q&A.
Oh, right. So what we're actually seeing here is the updated main sim. Um, I guess for the players who aren't familiar, you kind of start out at the beginning of the evolution tree and work your way up to apes and humans, and then eventually unlock ideas, and then go through the tree of civilization to unlock the singularity. So previously, the singularity is actually when we first started introducing the prestige mechanics to the game, and where we kind of introduced the reality engine and all the upgrades that you can purchase. So as part of this change, we're actually moving the introduction of the reality engine earlier in the experience. So now new players will actually get to the reality engine when they get to the first ideas. So In order to unlock the idea tree, you actually need to go into the reality engine and start unlocking certain upgrades. So if you remember this strange floating brain on the tree, if you tap it now, um, the simulation starts to glitch, and then Semblance basically explains that ideas are too complex to simulate, so we need to do a reboot to upgrade our system to handle them.
I
So
love how
here,
she's
there's,
just like, oh, my brain can't handle ideas.
I need more
yeah.
ideas.
Yeah, definitely. As part of this whole project, we wanted to kind of flesh out Semblance's quest to simulate the universe and to gather knowledge. So that's definitely something that we're thinking about a lot. Um, so here, the player basically has a choice. They can continue to grind up the tree, or they can reboot the simulation and start unlocking reality engine upgrades. So if I proceed here with the upgrade or the unlock, here we see kind of a new sequence that one of our developers, James, has been working on. And here what we wanted to do was kind of let players really get a better feel for the fact that we're rebooting the entire simulation and to kind of make that moment a little bit more exciting. So you can kind of see that Semblance is kind of charging up. And then we move on into the introduction of the reality engine.
I love that animation so much. For anyone who has read our dev diary, you probably recognize the little screenshot of it, but that was the animation in action. So
Yep,
far, at
definitely.
least.
Yeah, definitely excited about all of the new visuals that we're working on because I think it's we were overdue for a bit of an overhaul there. But yeah, so it's probably been a while for a lot of our late players since they've first seen the introduction of the reality engine. But this is kind of what the experience will look like for new players. So when you unlock the reality engine, you'll now see that there's a few branches that go in these six directions. Um, and then at the top, you'll actually see that the bank looks a little bit different now. On the left-hand side, this is your bank for entrobits. And on the right-hand side, you'll eventually unlock the ability to generate idea bits. So just going through and purchasing a few of these upgrades. Um, you can kind of see actually at the top, there's actually this um, progress bar now, which wasn't there before. Um, so one of the exciting changes with this update is that you can now stack multiple boosts or upgrades until they get maxed out, which is different from before, where you just kind of purchase one at a time and progress through the tree that way. So hopefully this gives players a lot more choices as to which types of upgrades that they want to prioritize, and you can all think about the best way to upgrade your reality engine.
Little Peanut in the Twitch chat was asking if all of their boosts will be that they bought will go away. I feel like this kind of correlates with that question.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So we're only going to be adding to the existing tree, and we're not going to be taking anything away. That's kind
Hmm.
of like our thinking here. So we definitely don't want players to be worried about losing progress or anything like that. We're not trying to remove anyone's progress. We're really just trying to add more content here and add more depth. A few things might kind of get moved around. So it might not be where you were used to seeing it before, but it'll still definitely be there. Um, and we'll definitely be kind of helping players to find it, but hopefully it should be more or less self-explanatory and you should be able to kind of figure it out as you continue playing the game.
Hmm.
Um, okay. And like I mentioned earlier, your metabits that you already have saved up will also be kept as well, but they're just going to be converted into this new currency. Okay,
Sweet.
so I'll lock a few more upgrades here. Um, there's way more content in this tree, and we're still trying to get a good handle on tuning it. But I definitely think, at least from playing it myself, it's exciting to kind of see a lot of the depth and the nuance that's been emerging from the design that we've been putting together here. Um, okay, so Apart from that, one thing I did want to touch on quickly was the compiler concept here. So, um, like I mentioned, we want entropy to drive how entropy get generated. So we created this new compiler concept, which should hopefully make it much clearer exactly how entropy converts to entropits. Um, so yeah, we look forward to kind of seeing how players feel about it, but so far it does seem like it's a step in the right direction. And then in addition to the compilers, I also wanted to quickly touch on the updates that we're making to the Terminus chamber, um, which is really kind of where Semblance is, um, I guess, creating her simulation of, or her model of the completed universe. So for the players here who have already kind of seen the current Terminus Chamber, this is like a big expansion on it, where previously we had something like 10, 15 nodes, and now we're expanding that to something more like 50. So there's definitely going to be a lot more happening in the Terminus Chamber here. And we're definitely excited about it because it's kind of where Semblance's story plays out as far as her quest to simulate the universe. And we're excited to kind of visualize that in a new way and to kind of introduce new game mechanics to make it more integrated into the gameplay experience.
Yeah, this is really exciting to see because I know our current terminus chamber. I was there when like we first started making it, and it was when the game had less content in it. So we were like, okay, these are like the big milestones that you can collect, and then when it started like going out from its cube form, it was like, oh, this is becoming bigger than I think we originally anticipated. So just letting people know who have asked us what's up with the terminus chamber, like is it supposed to be a bigger deal? Like we are thinking about that, and that's going to be included in this big reality reboot.
Yep. So I think that's probably all I'm going to show for now. We are starting to test, but do keep your eye out for when we announce this for beta. For people that are interested, we are looking for beta testers to kind of come in and give us some early feedback. So there should hopefully be announcements on that in the near future.
This is really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully players are excited. Hopefully you're not too nervous about it. I know that, players kind of put a lot of um, time and energy into progressing through the game, and we definitely want to protect that. We don't want to waste anyone's time or progress. So we are being very careful to try to, keep the progress that you've made, but also kind of give you new stuff that you can unlock. That's really kind of the goal of this project.
yeah, we've been reading everyone's questions and comments and concerns about this update since we talked about it in the dev diary. And we're thinking about the best way to present this information to you guys over time while we get ready for the update in the future. So keep the questions coming and we'll answer what we can. We want you guys to enjoy this update because it's something to be really excited about. So, yeah, and also if you have questions about the reality reboot, which I'm sure you do, we have a Q&A at the end of this stream, which honestly I think is a little shorter than I anticipated so far. So that means we'll have more time for a Q&A. Great. So hold on to your questions for that time. But in the meantime, we do have a code for you guys, and I think we're gonna play a little bit of a game doing it. So basically, uh, if you remember earlier in the show, we talked a lot about cheese, and Andrew T is our writer for the cheese event.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think is Andrew T's favorite type of cheese?
Damn good question. What could
Hmm.
it be? I don't know.
Andrew
What
looks
would
like a Gouda guy to me.
A Gouda Gouda.
Yeah,
In case people don't already know, the patch notes are going to be chock full of cheese puns.
classic. How could we not? Like, there's so many options.
Someone's already got it in the Twitch chat.
It's true. I saw someone mention this specific cheese earlier in the chat, which was very exciting to see. Someone had already been thinking about it.
It was like
They're like,
telepathically, they already knew.
yeah,
All
Oh
right,
my god.
well, I feel like at that point, I might as well reveal it. You guys are so smart. And it
Okay.
is mozzarella.
Nice.
Hey. First
Mozzarella.
try.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
first try. Shout out
I'm
to Little Peanut.
impressed. So mozzarella, it's for 30 Darwinium cubes. The best way, or the only way, that you can redeem a Darwinium code is by going into the game and clicking on the hamburger menu, the settings menu in the top right hand of your corner of your screen. And when you go to the help tab, there's an option to redeem code. You'll want to input this code, all caps, no spaces. Mozzarella. Make sure you have the right amount of Z's and the right amount of L's and the right amount of R's. I didn't know how to spell mozzarella at the top of my head. Enjoy your free Darwinium, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the show today.
Oh, I just responded to someone asking what I think of mozzarella sticks. I was
Oh, you
like,
don't like the
yeah, I
sticks.
was gonna say I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm just like I just like it on its own or like on top of like a pizza or something. It's just like the breaded. It's just not my thing. What can I say?
Do you like a margarita pizza?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, that's fine. It's more like I feel like I'm not eating cheese when it's a mozzarella stick. It's more like just it's like a weird bread concoction that has cheese inside. I don't like when things are inside of other things. Like I don't like when there's cheese inside of the. I think that's what it comes down to.
So you don't like turducken?
Yeah, no, I don't like Boston cream donuts. I don't like anything where it's like I'm biting into it and it's like a new thing in there. Like I'm like it's the texture differences that throw me off. So there we go. Little lore, little Andrew lore there. I don't like.
Now I
Hey,
know.
Adrian,
I won't share my Boston cream donut with you
There
next
you
time I
go.
bring donuts into the office.
There you go.
are you New York guy, Andrew?
Yeah. I've been
Yeah,
hopping
that
into the
tracks.
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mozzarella pizza. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also our cheese producer Sam is in the chat as well. He's been hyping you up
There you go.
earlier in the stream. I don't know if he's still here, but everyone say hi to the whole cheese team.
Yeah.
All right, and that brings us into our Q&A. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking questions about the reality reboot. If you have questions about cheese, now's a good time. If you have questions about the uh, the cheese recipe contest, you can ask any of us any of those things, and we'll do what we can to respond. I definitely underestimated how long this stream was going to be. I feel like we powered through everything so fast.
It's true.
I think that there was a few questions that might have come up
I'm
earlier.
scrolling back now.
Yeah,
See if we pick 'em up.
let me see. Oh, we have so many comments on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. I've been totally focused on Twitch because that is uh how it's integrated with my setup. Let's take a look. Oh, you guys have so many questions. I think it's good we have a longer Q&A.
There you go.
Let's take a look.
Um,
Whoa.
Someone who asked, will there be new episodes in the Beyond after episode 30? Um, so as of now, we're not really sure exactly what things are going to look like after episode 30. So we're going to kind of put things on pause there for now. We are still thinking about ways to get like more space content into the game, but whether that's going to happen in the Beyond or if it's going to happen in the main game or elsewhere, that's still something that we're figuring out.
Mm.
Yeah, for now, episode 30 is going to be one of the last Beyond episodes that will be coming out. But we do want to keep producing space content in the game. We're not 100% sure what that will look like, but any space fans here, no need to fret.
Yeah, and just to add to that, part of the reason why we can only really do one thing or the other is because a lot of the people or most of the people on the Beyond team are actually the same people that are on the main game team. So we really only have enough resources or people available to kind of focus on one track at a time.
Mhm.
So yeah, we are a small team, so we try to get to one thing at a time as we're able to.
Mhm.
What is the rest of the team's favorite cheeses?
Wow, we're
Our
gonna have
whole
to put a poll out for the whole team. 'Cause I do not know everyone. Emily answered in the chat somewhere. Emily Young's that
Mascarpone?
yeah, mascarpone. Yeah.
That's a
I
unique cheese.
Mm.
think I'm a, what's the word? Manchego? Manchego guy,
That's a good
maybe?
That was
one.
pretty good. Yeah.
I said my favorite earlier, I believe, brie cheese, but I also am impartial to a good pepper jack.
Mm. Let's see. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling deep back.
Will cells include more history content apart from the history tree in the main sim?
Mm.
Uh, I believe we will.
Mm.
Uh, so I mean, I don't think we can really make any promises yet, but definitely with future primary sim upgrades, and also maybe with the events team down the road, there'll be opportunities to do more history content, but um, I think it's probably too soon to say anything for sure, though.
Yeah, we definitely try to. In previous events, we've definitely touched on the historical aspect of things a lot of time. Like even with outbreaks,
Outbreaks, that timeline was awesome that you guys
yeah,
did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would
I'm
love
really
to see
proud of that.
more stuff like that in the future. So if you guys like extra features like the little timeline at the bottom, let us know.
Mm.
Ultra Beyond on YouTube was asking if we can improve the atomic age, which, if people don't know, John also, I would say, spearheaded the civilization updates that
Mhm.
happened last year.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely something I would love to do. It's on the list for sure. When exactly we'll be able to get to it is an open question, but for sure it's on our list of things we're going to do. Yeah, I am excited to do kind of like a modern garden with like buildings and planes and things like that, and a future garden also sounds super exciting. But like I said, it's got to be one thing at a time with a team our size.
Yeah, we've got a long list of things we'd love to include. I see so much feedback from players being like, "Can you add this? Can you add that?" And I'm like, "I would love to, but we only have so much that we could do at a time."
Wow.
And I'm not touching the game. I'm not a dev like technically. So I'm like, if I could snap my fingers and do it, I would.
Wow.
But unfortunately, that's not game dev.
Mhm.
Yeah, Emily's definitely a dev, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm marketing dev.
All right. What will the modems do? How available is it? I'm not sure what we mean by modems here.
Moding, yeah. If you could elaborate, that would be helpful.
Are there in the only thing I could think of is in the new reality engine upgrades, is there one called modems? Is that one of the new names for things or no?
Not that I know of, but I
Well,
might be wrong. Yeah.
well
Is
then I
one
have no
stretch
idea.
gonna? Oh, what will the modding press? How much is it possible?
I don't know.
Well, we'll come back to that one. Yeah, if you can clarify.
Some people are asking about the code. It's in all caps. It's mozzarella. I see. Thank you to everyone who has copy and pasted it into the chat.
Oh,
Little Peanut is asking, will the Beyond be like the Mesozoic Valley where you'll be able to prestige? Um, maybe.
there you go.
Yeah, I think we have mixed feelings, and I think the players also have mixed feelings on the prestige in the Mesozoic. It's definitely great that it kind of gives players something to continue playing. But we want to make sure that if we do prestige mechanics in somewhere like the Beyond, that it's worth it. It's worth your time, basically, and we want to make it interesting. We don't want to just put it in there just to put it in, but we want to kind of think through the design and make sure that it's actually it's fun for players.
Lone Paladin on YouTube. This isn't a question, but they said something that I got a little chuckle out of. They said, "I only just got the required metabits to get the last upgrade in the reality sim, and that was the day that the reboot was announced. Talk
There you
about
go. Yeah.
timing."
Yeah.
So don't worry. We talk a lot about the neutrino expansion. That's the last node, and we know players have worked hard to unlock it. So if you've gotten it, you will keep it for sure. We'll make sure that we don't take that one away from you.
Yeah.
Nice. The neutrino expansion is preserved.
So
That's,
congratulations and enjoy your victory.
Oh, this seems like a question for you, Emily, or not a question. I don't know. This might be a reference I don't get. Marketing dev. Let's get posters of Waldo the whale. Everyone loves him. Who's Waldo the whale? I don't think I know
Waldo the
who that is.
whale? This is a Google search that I need to make. That
Okay.
sounds familiar.
Is
did the
that one of
players
our
name the
whales?
whale in the ocean garden? Waldo? That would
Did
be
you
awesome.
guys name the whale Waldo? Oh,
Wow, Waldo the whale.
Yeah, I think the plesiosaur also got a name. Yeah, it's awesome
that's
that.
Jeff.
Yeah, yeah.
Classic.
Before we got a Jeff on the
Right, right.
team. So
Yes.
sorry, Jeff sorry, Cells Jeff. You're Jeff number 2 because Plesiosaur was Jeff number 1.
Let's see.
Okay. So Bone Scratcher was asking if it's possible to make mods for the game. Um, Maybe. I mean, I don't think we have a problem with it, but it's also something that we're just not really able to support. So if someone figures out how to do it, I've got no problem with it. Have fun with it, but yeah, it's not something that we actively support.
And in the meantime, if there's anyone who's watching the stream who didn't get to catch it live, we're going to have a VOD on YouTube. And if you have your own burning questions about Reality Reboot, about cheese, we'll be posting on socials, hyping cheese up through next week. And we'll be making some social posts highlighting some cool features and some information that would be good to know for players about Reality Reboot over time leading up to the release. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And we'll do what we can to answer those questions in the comments of those posts. Someone is very passionate about a pasta event.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna do pasta. Hey, listen, never say never. I don't know if we're gonna do a
I mean,
pasta.
we did tea, we did cheese. At this point, like any food,
I
sky's the
saw people
limit.
saying that for a bread event too. People were asking about bread. We'll just have a whole event on carbs, and then we can put
That's
pasta
cool.
in there. Like,
I would not
not
say
saying
no to a carbs event.
Cards event, yeah. I'd be into that one, yeah.
Explore carbs.
Cards.
And there
I
needs to
could
be a
I
see
agree.
it.
gluten free section.
Yes, there you go. Well, so not saying we'll do that, but hey, you could never say never. Um, someone was asking how the event rankings work and if they're regional or if they're worldwide. I believe, I honestly am not sure, but I know for a fact that they are divided into divisions based on when you start the event. So you'll end up with 1,000 people that are like starting around the same time as you. I believe that is worldwide.
Yeah, I think it's worldwide, but like because of the time differences, like people might get grouped into their time zone depending on when they join the events. But as far as I know, there's no like regional separation that we do like behind the scenes.
Uh, Pip on YouTube was asking if you start from 0 with idea bits. That's a really good question.
Yes, that is the plan. So meta bits basically will convert to entrobits. The idea bits we're actually going to introduce later in the progression, and that'll be kind of like a fresh new branch that you can explore.
And we have a question on Twitch. Are there going to be any new achievements? I feel like achievements, they're never promised because they're not the highest priority ticket. We want to make sure the game is running smoothly, but whenever we can squeeze one in, we always do our best to.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the achievements. Yeah, as far as like for this immediate upcoming release, I can't say for sure, but definitely in the future with future releases that we do. I mean, as we add more content to the game, there will be, of course, achievements that come along with them. Will the Intrabit upgrades still affect the ideas section? Um,
So like
that
the sim
is
section.
Yeah, that is the plan. We are playing with lots of different types of upgrades, and we kind of want to um, mix and match lots of different things and kind of like connect systems and have them kind of talk to each other. Um, so that is something that we are planning on doing. Yep.
Someone said I think history of clothing and fashion maybe would be a great thing. I agree. We put it in our poll. It didn't get too high of a response. So maybe someday, but we want to prioritize what we find players are more attracted to. But yeah, I studied costume design and stuff, so I was kind of pushing for that a little bit. Just, yeah.
That is really cool. Anything that's like on the more artistic side, I'm always extra excited for those events.
Well, crab event.
Hello asks, is the main sim going to change in any way when the reality chamber gets updated? We are making some adjustments to the main sim, definitely on the tuning side. We are making lots of changes there. Um, but most of the new nodes that we're adding are going to be in the reality engine. But then part of this project is actually setting us up to add new content to the main sim. So there's going to be a lot of content updates in the main tree that happen after the reality reboot.
We also have some people asking about the cryptid event. Um,
Yeah.
for anyone who doesn't know, we had a limited time event, seasonal limited time event,
Hmm.
last Halloween that premiered. That was the cryptid event, and
Hmm.
it's only played twice during the month of October.
Yeah.
So, and we've been getting a lot of people asking if it can come back around. And I just want to let you know we hear and see your requests.
Yeah.
So at the very latest, it will definitely be back this Halloween. So
Yeah.
mark your calendars. Don't miss it this year. You got to get
Mhm.
that badge.
It's true.
I get the badge. Um, so Sater was asking about an event creation tool for players. We've definitely been blown away by some of the fan-made events that have been shared on socials and Discord.
Hmm.
Um, Creating a tool like that is pretty hard, and getting into the game is even harder. So it's not really something that we're able to kind of do anytime in the near future. But we do love seeing what the players come up with. So do keep that stuff coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially seeing what people can make on like software like Scratch. Like it's very impressive seeing people recreate the events that we've made or make new events. It's very cool and we love seeing it. We're always sharing it in our chats.
Yeah, someone just recently shared a tier list on our subreddit of their favorite events, and it's not the kind of feedback we're usually used to hearing about the events and what players like from them. So it's interesting hearing everyone's different perspectives on why they like the events they like.
Yeah. What was really interesting to me is like there isn't really like a clear front runner. Like the opinions are like all over the place.
Mm,
Like some people really like one event, and then other people like that's kind of on the bottom of their list, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess that's actually a good thing because like we want the game to kind of appeal to, lots of different types of people. So
yeah, we
Yeah.
want to have a broad range, not just in topics, but in how you play each event and how you think about it critically.
Yeah. I agree. I think it shows we're doing something right. It would be a bit of a bummer if everyone unanimously agreed this one event is the best one because we'd be like, well, now we're always competing with that one
Yeah.
event.
cheese,
But the fact that
cheese is going to be that event. It's
yeah,
going
exactly. Cheese is gonna dominate
Cheese is
the.
gonna be number
to
one.
dominate.
Yes, there you go.
All right, I think we have
Sweet.
enough time for probably one or two more questions, and then we'll have to head out. Thank you, everyone, for asking your questions.
I do want to get to one Geckox asked, will the crystals on the Terminus chamber be some kind of upgrade, or will they just be a way to tell progression? As of now, it's mostly just for progression. You kind of need to unlock one of the nodes to kind of get to the next one. But we're really kind of thinking about it as like a high level quest system for Semblance to kind of complete her model of the universe. So we're hoping that's enough to kind of keep players engaged in unlocking the next one.
Oh, someone asked what are our favorite events.
Well, what we got? I guess I will say I'm very partial to the human body event. It was the second one I ever made with Sam. We were given a we were really testing our limits. We were like, all right, it's gonna be a short turnaround for this one, and we want to have it at 50 notes. So we really were like, we're gonna make this as good as possible with what we have. We had like help on the research side, and the way the currencies worked out was like accurate to how it works in real life, which was very exciting. So it was
Mm.
very that's one of my favorites, just of how it came together very naturally.
It's a
Yeah,
good one.
I'd have to go with philosophy.
Mm.
Um, because I think like that was kind of earlier in the events, and like we were still trying to figure out how to explore different types of topics. And philosophy is like surprisingly really complicated, and it's like different from the more science-based stuff that we were focused on at the time. So we learned a lot from that event, and I think it came out really interesting. Also, like the whole like cool synthwave vibe. I think actually Emily was really the one who kind of brought a lot of those ideas into that garden and into that event. But I just like the the vibe that we kind of got from that one.
Well, I'm gonna hop on your bandwagon because in terms of like gameplay and overall aesthetic, philosophy is also my number one. I think it's incredibly unique, and I remember the in the writers' room there was often a lot of debate about how to write the tooltips, and they're really unique compared to anything else that we've written anywhere in the game. Where we were like, how do we ask a question? Like, how should we word it? Um, and it made me realize there are all these different philosophies that you can ask, and like what kinds of questions you would ask along with that. So I really enjoyed philosophy. Also cats, because I just love cats. That was
Yeah.
an exciting one as
Uh,
well.
our art's up there, but like art was a really hard event
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
to
garden
make.
for
But
art is
yeah,
so intense, but it's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Um, all right, well we're a little over now. We ended up getting very chatty, but I think that was
Yeah.
good. Uh,
Yeah.
we loved seeing all of your questions. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's really
thanks
great
everyone. This
talking
was
to all
fun.
of you.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you guys for joining us. It's always great to have you on the stream.
Yeah.
All right. And everyone, we hope you're looking forward to Explore Cheese Dairy Delights. I remembered it this time. And we can't wait to see your entries for the Cheese Please recipe contest. You have a month, but that will come up pretty fast. So start putting on your aprons and get those mixing bowls ready. All right.
Thank you all.
And
Is my microphone coming through now? I want to talk about that awesome stream that just happened. Lots of news, lots of updates from the team there. Cheese is the big answer here. I have no idea if you can hear me or not. Sorry if you can't. I'm just gonna assume you can hear me, and I'm just gonna talk anyway. So the big updates that we got on this here stream was they're talking about the cheese event. They showed us a little bit about that, which was incredible. So I'm looking forward to that. And then they showed a little bit about how they're reworking the meta bits. So here I'm gonna click over onto that instead of just clicking dinosaur stuff. We'll come back to this. Yeah, like as you all know, I'm a noob. I don't really have progress in this game, but apparently they're reworking the meta bits and the how the Singularity works and how Semblance, which is the narrator lady, yeah, they're just reworking and focusing a little bit more on the primary, which is incredible. I'm sure a lot of you are really excited about that. I am still early enough along in the game that I haven't really lost that luster, that love for it. So I don't know, like let me know in the chat what you guys think about this. I really want to be involved with that team. They just seem like people that I have a lot in common with. Maybe they're from my generation or a little bit younger, a little bit older, who knows. Definitely interesting stuff. If there ever is like an SDK or a fan-made ability, I might try to make my own little game here. But I don't know. You guys kind of know what's up with me. I just sit and chill and talk about philosophy and other life. Try to give out big brother, uncle advice to you all, and basically this is just a place where I hang out so I can play my music. We're still conquering this cat thing here. What are we, like 62nd? I guess I don't really have much to say about that. That was incredible. Oh yeah, they shouted out Waldo the whale, so that's cool. What did I say? Meme it into existence. Waldo. Okay, I'm gonna get off mic though. That's the update from them. That was awesome. All the love to the team. I hope they hit me up. Ziggy Poet, if the team is listening, saw this, whatever. Ziggy the Poet, or not the, but Ziggy Poet on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that. Or drop a comment here on YouTube. I'm an artist, I'm a musician, I'm really good like editing film and all that kind of stuff. Anything you need done, narrative, I want to be involved. But until then, I'm just gonna keep clicking and drinking coffee and playing piano. It's snowing in April, or late March here, so I'm gonna go play Claire de Lune and drink coffee. All the love to you guys. Peace. Oh, Felix is in the chat. Sorry, man, I'm just getting off right now. I will be back though, I promise. Hi, Felix. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Waldo the Whale. Shout out to Cells to Singularity. I always try to hit an hour on the mark, so I'm just gonna ramble for another 55 seconds. I'm looking out the window here. Snow's still falling. Makes me want to go listen to Tom Waits or maybe some like Jimi Hendrix Experience or something.